Harvesting is an important and critical component in oil palm management. Farmers can only realize the benefit of all the input that has been invested in the farm if they take their harvesting serious and do harvest at regular intervals. This video you are about to watch describes the process of oil palm bunch formation and the most efficient and effective way of oil palm harvesting for farmers to realize maximum returns.
Oil palm bunch formation and harvesting. Oil palms produce fruit bunches throughout the year, with a peak in production over the period from February to May. If fruit bunches are not harvested on time, they rot on the palm, resulting in lost income to the farmer. Therefore, to avoid any crop losses, palms should be harvested every 10 days in the peak season and every 14 days in the low crop or lean period. Both female and male flowers are produced on each palm. Male flowers are needed to produce pollen to fertilize female flowers, which develop into the fruit bunches that contain oil. The ratio of female to male flowers is dependent partly on past rainfall and sunshine, but also on aspects of crop management such as weeding, pruning, drainage, and fertilizer application. For example, oil palms will show a larger proportion of male flowers and fewer fruit bunches 2 years after a severe drought. Similarly, proper field management also affects bunch production, and farmers can expect larger bunch yields over a 2 to 3 year period following the implementation of best management practices. Present bunch yield is therefore the result of the impact of weather conditions and crop management over the previous 2 to 3 years. In West Africa, there is a marked dry season each year from December to February and a second dry season in August. The wet seasons are from March to July and from September to October. In response, palms tend to produce more female flowers during the period from September to November that mature into bunches ready for harvest between February and April. Palms enter a male phase, producing mostly more male flowers from May until the onset of the peak in the following February. Farms situated within the oil palm belt are likely to produce higher yields than those located where rainfall is less favorable. Similarly, palms located in well-drained valley bottoms will produce large yields than palms located on upper slopes where moisture availability is less. We will now describe the practices required to ensure the complete harvest of fruit bunches and loose fruit for market. Field access. It is very important to prepare proper access from the roadside to the palms so that harvesters' work is made as easy as possible. For this reason, the farmer must install paths between alternate palm rows and weeded circles around the base of each palm. In addition, it is important that there is sufficient road access so that fruit bunches can be transported to market. Proper pruning is also required so that the harvester can identify and harvest ripe bunches easily. With good access, it is easier for the harvester to work and the harvesting operation is less costly. And a harvester can cut and carry 1.5 to 1.8 tons per day compared with 0.3 to 0.8 tons per day in a poorly maintained block. Ripeness standard. Industrial mills such as Bob, Top, Norpalm, and GOPDC require ripe bunches to maximize oil extraction rate and oil quality. Farmers selling fruit bunches to this market should harvest bunches when 3 to 5 loose fruit have become detached from the bunch and fallen to the ground. By contrast, artisanal mills prefer to process very ripe bunches so that it is easier to separate the loose fruits from bunches during processing. Therefore, bunches sold to this market should be harvested when more than 5 loose fruits have become detached from the bunch. It should be remembered that fruit quality is not affected by short harvesting frequency because the ripeness standard can be adjusted to the selected market. Tools, equipment, and materials. Harvesters must be equipped with the following tools: a harvesting chisel with a 10 cm wide cutting edge and a 2 meter shaft for palms less than 3 meters in height, a Malayan knife or harvesting sickle attached to an aluminium pole for tall palms, a sharpening stone, a wheelbarrow, a cutlass, hand gloves, well-eaten boots, and a safety helmet. Harvesters should always wear personal protective equipment to minimize injury from falling bunches and thorny fronts. The harvester first inspects the weeder circle to determine whether there is a ripe bunch in the palm. He then identifies the direction of the spiral of front buds on the trunk. On a left-handed palm, front bud spiral from bottom right to top left and vice versa. On a left-handed palm, the harvester takes out position to the right side of the bunch and cuts the front beneath the bunch so that the front fall away from him. This helps reduce the incidence of thorn injuries that occur when front fall onto the harvester's body. Fronts are cut into two and placed in a boss pattern around the palm in the front stack. The harvester then cuts the bunch and uses his cutlass to remove the stack. Fruit carriage. In the past, fruit were usually transported using head pans, but provided proper paths have been installed, wheelbarrows are a much more efficient means of transport. Using a wheelbarrow, the harvester can transport 70 to 80 kg per load, whilst a head pan contains only 25 to 30 kg per load. Loose fruit collection. It is important to collect all loose fruit because they contain 40% oil compared with bunches. Provided weeded circles have been installed, a scraper can be used to collect loose fruit rapidly from the weeded circle after bunch harvest. Field recording. After harvest, bunches should be counted and bunches and sacks of loose fruit weighed and recorded in the farm harvest book. This will help the farmer monitor yield from month to month and year to year. If bunch production is not recorded, it is not possible for the farmer to measure the effect of past investment in best management practices on yield. Bunches and loose fruit are then arranged ready for transport to market. In conclusion, crop harvest is a very important part of oil palm management. Lost bunches and loose fruit means lost profit. It's important for the farmer to remember that his money grows on trees. He should not lose it.